built in 1879 by George Stuart and was ultimately managed by his son Billy Stuart. And Billy Stewart's general manager was Spenny Steenrod. And the theater was in operation then from 1879 until 1924. When it was in operations, it had shows, touring shows that came along, local theater productions. Now the ABC Players were the Berean Players, and they started doing shows here in the early 20s. Church meetings, political rallies, any type of community event really happened here at the Opera House. So it was really part of the heart of the community. In 1924, when movies were coming into vogue, the theater was too expensive to operate. They closed their doors, and then unfortunately the theater stayed empty until the 1970s. In the late 1970s, Spenny Steenrod Jr. and Baird Stewart got together and formed the Hocking Valley Museum of Theatrical History. And they were going to reopen Stewart's, start an arts education program, have community events here, have theater here, have shows here again. And at that time, there was a building next door, which had been Preston's department store, and then Hoffman's, and then various other things were in that building, became part of the property of Stewart's Opera House. So the plan was to renovate the second floor theater and the building next door to be an education and community center. Now, tragically, in March of 1980, the theater caught fire and the roof collapsed. And fortunately, due to a lot of community dollars and dedication, they rebuilt the theater and it reopened in 1997. A performance called Ladies and Gentlemen, Mark Twain, which was a one-man show written and performed by a man named Jack Spell. And from that 1997 moment until now, the theater hosts community theater. The ABC Players is our resident theater company, in addition to other theater performances that have happened here. We have artists from all over the world. In 2012, we started a campaign to renovate the building next door, as because the building had burned down in 1980, they didn't have enough money, that building to get renovated, so we started fulfilling that dream that happened in the 1970s. Tragically, in April 2015, that building burned down, but because we were already in a capital campaign, we were able to rebuild it, and it opened as the Education and Community Center in 2018. We now have after-school music program, the Nelsonville York Drama Club, theater classes, summer camp. The Hive comes over and does stuff. Community meetings happen here, rentals, weddings, and just about anything you could possibly imagine. We now have 14 full-time employees. We've probably got about 12 teaching artists, contractors, other various contractors, and people who help out. And we've got, including the Nelsonville Music Festival, which we also produce, about 500 volunteers, people who are working with and for us throughout the year. It looks flexible, and Stewart's Opera House is a nonprofit organization. That doesn't mean we can't make money. It just means that shareholders don't make money, but it also means we've got to have a lot of shows. We've got to be busy all the time. We have to not burn out employees. They have to work a reasonable number of hours. We do get gifts and grants from foundations and government. We're very heavily supported by the Ohio Arts Council, and that is tax dollars that go to that Ohio Arts Council that support arts organizations throughout the state. It's great, and it looks like supporting each other. It looks like a culture where we can ask for help and work together. We do spend a lot of hours together.